The comic unfolds with Nolan and Oliver standing in Alan's office. Alan politely asks Oliver to leave the room because he wants to talk to Nolan. Oliver leaves the office without saying anything. Alan tells Nolan that he has decided to do something and he knows he won't like his decision. Nolan gets curious and asks Alan about what is going on with him.
Before he died, Thetis told you about the Scourge Virus, didn't he?
Nolan destroys the small compartment where Thetis kept the virus when he was alive, but Alan reveals that the virus is no longer there. Nolan angrily asks where the virus is.
I'm sorry, this is going to get ugly, but I just couldn't do this without telling you first.
Alan reveals that the virus is being loaded on the ship and he will personally travel to Earth and introduce the virus to the Earth's atmosphere. He apologizes for doing that, but Nolan angrily responds.
You can't do this. That virus is designed to kill Viltrumites, and humans are so genetically similar, you could be killing them all.
Alan responds that he already knows the outcome. Nolan exclaims that he won't let him do that. Alan prepares himself to fight. Nolan jumps at Alan and punches him, but Alan blocks his punch and explains that he is doing it for the better and to save the universe because Viltrumites are too dangerous. Not only that, they are the reason their planet has lost so many people and the fear they caused in their hearts. Nolan brutally punches Alan.
The people on Earth are innocent. Have you lost your mind?
Alan grabs Nolan and flies to the sky so that they won't destroy the whole building. Nolan stops Alan and punches him again.
You can't go through with this. Think about what you're saying. It's an entire planet of innocent people. How is that any different than what the Viltrumites did on Unapa?
Alan responds that killing every Viltrumite will save an entire galaxy from their fear and the things that have happened before won't happen again.
Alan, you can't do this.
How could I not?
Nolan punches him again and sends him into space. Nolan exclaims that he will beat some sense into Alan, but Alan responds that he won't let him beat him again. Now Alan starts punching Nolan.
I knew you would make me do this. I knew you would stand against me. You can't see things the way I do. Your time with the Viltrumite Empire has scarred you.
Alan exclaims that Nolan is turning into the older version of him and he can't see things like he does. Also, not to mention, he rules the coalition now, so he has the responsibility to save millions or billions of lives, so he will do anything to fulfill his responsibility. He brutally kicks him and tells him that Thetis started this mission for a reason, but he is no longer alive to complete what he started. But as a ruler of the coalition, he will complete what he started and hopefully. By the time he completes his mission, Nolan will be fully healed and may understand his cause. Nolan is brutally injured and he is bleeding too much. But suddenly, Eggplant Kid comes there and punches Alan. Alan tries to explain why he is fighting his father, but Oliver kicks his balls. Nolan flies towards them to fight Alan but suddenly stops. Oliver asks him why he stopped all of a sudden. Multiple coalition soldiers arrive on the scene to save their regent Alan.
It's about the time they showed up.
Now Alan tries to explain again. He explains that it's not 100% that it would also affect humans, and if they see his perspective, they will realize that he is right. Oliver confirms if Alan has the virus to kill the Viltrumites on Earth, and Nolan responds that due to the similar genetics of Viltrumites and humans, it would also kill humans. This eggplant guy responds that Alan is right and they should just kill the Viltrumites and it doesn't even matter if the humans also die. Because Alan would inform Mark and other people they love, Nolan gets shocked to witness that his son is taking Alan's side, so he tries to explain it a little better. He explains that Earth changed him in every way. Earth and the people he loved brought the side of him out he never knew existed. He says that might happen to other Viltrumites as well, and they might just become like humans and never hurt anyone.
I can't help but think the same thing that happened to me will happen to all of them.
Alan responds that if they do not become like Nolan, then he already knows what Viltrumites are capable of. Alan asks Nolan if he wants to save humans on Earth or the Viltrumites. Oliver intervenes and exclaims that even if Nolan is right, then his mom and a few other people are good, but other than that, most of the humans are just like Viltrumites. They fight others for the things that they don't have. Alan does not waste more time and orders his soldiers to detain Nolan, but we all know Nolan is not just a regular Viltrumite. He easily overpowers those soldiers.
I wasn't kidding when I said I wouldn't let you do this, Alan.
He charges at Alan, but Oliver steps in and punches his father. Nolan almost tries to decapitate him, but then his inner side comes out and he stops himself from doing anything bad. Alan brutally punches Nolan.
Well, that was touching. You have changed. Still, though, I'm convinced you're an anomaly. I just can't see Grand Regent Thragg marrying a nice little human woman and settling down.
Allen brutally beats Nolan, and it's hard to see him getting beaten like that, to be honest. He punches his eye and flies away. Allen tells Oliver that Nolan will understand their cause when he heals. He exclaims that he was trying his best not to hurt Nolan badly, but still he had to stop him. Now both of them start their journey to Earth. Nolan falls on his home's balcony in front of Debbie. She is already crying because she saw everything on the news.
You're attacking Allen, trying to take over this planet now.
Nolan barely stands up and explains to Debbie that Allen is going to Earth to kill all the Viltrumites, but he will kill all the humans at the same time too. Nolan is bleeding too much and he suddenly faints. Soldiers enter their room and arrest Nolan. The scene shifts to Earth. This guy has attacked Earth again, in case if no one remembers. This is the same guy that appeared in issue 27, but this time he is stronger and he has already defeated all the heroes, even Guardians of the Globe. Mark and Dinosaurus pull up on the scene to fight him.
How long did you wait to tell me about this? These are my friends. They could have been killed, some of them might already be dead.
He brutally punches Dinosaurus and throws Mark away. He punches him and shatters the ground. Dinosaurus attacks him from behind and literally bites off his whole face. His whole body starts exploding and the explosion destroys a large area. Dinosaurus comes there and helps Mark stand up. Mark asks him if he is okay. He responds that he is unharmed. Suddenly, Guardians of the Globe surround Mark and Dinosaurus. Rex orders Mark to surrender because he helped Dinosaurus in the last events that caused the destruction.
Are you kidding me? I think what you mean to say is thank you. Were you not paying attention? We just saved the world.
Rex tells Mark to surrender and go to the Pentagon with them, but Mark does not listen and flies away along with Dinosaurus. Mark finally comes home after a very long time and Eve gets shocked to see him.
I'm sorry it's taken me this long to see you. They have been watching the house. I haven't been able to.
What are you doing, Mark? You're working with the madman who blew up Las Vegas. I know you were taking that hard, but I never thought it was screwing you up this badly.
He tries to convince that Dinosaurus is a good guy and he is looking at the bigger picture, and to be honest, he has helped humanity more than they do with their fists wearing silly costumes.
I rarely ever used my fists, and what we do has always been about helping people.
He explains that he is close to Dinosaurus because he is keeping an eye on him, even though his ideas are good, but his ways are not very well. They argue for a long time, and Mark mentions that he knows what risk he is taking.
I'm pretty much a wanted man at this point. I wouldn't be doing all this if I didn't believe it was worth it, but also if I didn't believe I could handle it.
Okay, I just had to say it.
Suddenly, Cecil teleports there like always. I don't know what is wrong with him. Mark tells him that he doesn't have Dinosaurus with him. Cecil responds that he is not here to fight or cause trouble, he is just here to talk. He tries to make Mark realize that what he is doing is totally wrong, but Mark exclaims that he knows what he is doing and he won't stop. Suddenly, Cecil receives a call about the arrival of Oliver and Allen. Cecil tells Mark that he is sending Guardians of the Globe, but Mark refuses and tells him that he will go there alone. Mark looks for them.
Hey guys, good to see you.
He meets Oliver after a very long time. Allen intervenes and tells Mark that he is here for a reason. Mark asks about Nolan and Debbie.
They remained on Tlesria. There is a lot to discuss. Your father informed me of the Viltrumite status here on Earth and I have devised a plan. I need to run past you.
Allen explains everything to Mark, that he has brought Scourge Virus to end Viltrumites and all the people on Earth.
Have you lost your mind?
Allen and Oliver try to make Mark realize that they are right and wiping out Viltrumites from Earth is the best option, but Mark responds that Scourge Virus could kill all of humanity too, which is just not acceptable. Allen explains the same reason he said in front of Nolan, but Mark totally refuses to accept what he says and brutally punches him.
Don't act surprised, Allen. You knew I could never let you do something like this.
Oliver stops Mark, but Mark is not going to stop now. He pushes Oliver away and Allen attacks him. He brutally punches his face.
You need to just let this happen. Trust that I know what is best. I was made head of the coalition of planets for a reason. Besides, Nolan couldn't stop me. What chance do you have?
Suddenly, Thragg spawns there.
He has me.
Allen gets shocked to see Thragg.
Allen, so good to see you again, and the young Viltrumite traitor has healed nicely now. Did you really think we would occupy this planet without monitoring orbital activity? We saw your arrival, we know your plan. So tell me why I shouldn't slaughter both of you right now.
Allen threatens Thragg if he moves an inch towards him, he would simply infect him with the virus. Thragg gets angry and responds.
You clearly have no idea how hard I have been fighting the urge to kill you, simply to see that giant, ridiculous Unipan eye burst forth from your shattered skull.
Thragg tells Allen that no matter how strong he made this virus, he is pretty sure he would separate his head from his body even after he gets affected.
Okay, so it's over, right Allen? You're packing it in and going home. Thragg knows, you're not catching them by surprise. You release this thing into Earth's atmosphere now and they just take off, leaving the planet before the virus spreads. So that's it, your plan is officially foiled.
Mark tries his best to make Allen realize that he should end this now and just leave them alone. Suddenly, Thragg speaks and exclaims that he wants to propose a truce. Allen gets confused, but then Thragg starts speaking, saying that he knows how it feels like to be a leader and he knows that Allen has to prove himself for this responsibility. That is why he just wants to wipe out Viltrumites. Moreover, it's not a good idea to put everyone in danger. Finally, Allen starts to realize that he might be wrong because Thragg was putting some sense into his mind. Little Eggplant tries to attack but Allen stops him. Suddenly, Guardians of the Globe pull up on the scene. Bulletproof could easily talk to Mark while Rex couldn't. It's because he is just out of the reach.
Who are these people?
Friends of mine, don't worry about them, they won't interfere.
Rex tells Bulletproof to tell Mark that he should just surrender and go with them to the Pentagon. Mark refuses but all of them attack him. Rex tells Monster Girl to handle Thragg. She punches him but Thragg literally breaks her whole helmet with just one swipe. Robot saves her while Mark begs Thragg not to hurt them because they are his friends. While all of them were fighting, Oliver steals the gun and flies towards Earth. Allen tries to stop him but he doesn't listen.
Please don't hurt them, they are trying to do good here.
My patience only goes so far.
Suddenly, Mark notices Oliver. He leaves everything and straight goes after him. He grabs him midair but Eggplant Boy punches his brother. Both brothers fight like I used to fight my little brother when I was little. Meanwhile, Allen stops everyone from fighting.
The fate of your entire world is at risk. I am needed.
Bulletproof asks Thragg who he is. Well, let me introduce this guy. He is around 7 foot and weighs 400 pounds. Not to mention he is Grand Regent Thragg of the Viltrum Empire and the strongest of them all. Meanwhile, Mark is still trying to snatch the gun from Oliver but this Eggplant mistakenly shoots Mark with the Scourge Virus. Mark starts falling but Allen catches him. They argue for a moment. Mark asks if the virus would still affect this planet. Allen refuses and explains that they are above the ocean and no, nothing is going to happen to this planet. Mark tells Allen that he is alright and nothing happened to him, but suddenly, Allen gets shocked. Mark's eyes and nose are bleeding, meaning the virus affected him.
Please subscribe and feel free to comment below if you have any questions about the comics.